Sorry we weren't in last week with a film, but we had some delays that held us up in weather. But now we're back to it and we're getting some work done. Well, this is the first time we've actually built from scratch a home, and we know there's a lot of moving parts, but we're really learning right now exactly where all those delays come from. Some of it's weather, some of it's suppliers, some of it's COVID-19, some of it's miscommunication between us and the supplier and whatnot. But all that coming together, you can be marching down a path of getting a lot of things done, and one little item gets in the way, and you can't go on because some things are sequential and other things aren't. I'm sitting on a wall that we didn't plan because we didn't realize the terrain was this high on this side. And so we took the door from this side, we put it on the other side. Well, now I have to figure out how to get an exit out that other side. It's little things like this that can really slow things up. But you have to have a patient builder, an experienced builder, and you've got to communicate. Well, right now we're starting to make a little progress. So the builder's gone ahead and put in the water barrier that we have against earth and the house. It's actually two layers. First, there's this very thick tar paper, and it goes right up against the Fox block, and in this case it's the concrete because this is a wallopini wall. And then on top of that is what they call a dimple membrane. What this does is allow water a path to travel down, and it can then go right out here. You see how it overlaps here, it can run right out here, and this right here is the form for the footer that is perforated, and it has the drain that goes down into the pond. So it gives a path for water to travel should water get up against the house. Well, we created this beautiful circular driveway so we could get trucks in and out. And yesterday we had a massive semi-trailer come in here, and he was able to turn around. We're very excited about that. But the problem is, he dumped all this rock right on the driveway. So today they're gonna come and scoop this rock up, get it around the house, and that's gonna be the basis for which they put the backfill on top of, so there's good drainage around the base of the house. For those of you who have seen parts 1, 2, and 3 in the progress of this ICF house, a lot of the time-lapse photos, in fact, almost all of them, were filmed from the top of this big dirt pile. It gave a nice overhead view, but unfortunately, once the rock goes in, this dirt pile is our backfill. We're gonna have to come up with a new staging area. So before pouring the rock in, he went around the house and he put these yellow marks on the dimple membrane to give him an idea of depth. These yellow marks are 2 feet up from the footer, all the way until he gets to the back of the house. We'll go take a look at that. Now we're on the back of the house, or the north side. This is the upslope side, the highest terrain. The terrain slopes from the north down to the south and into the pond. So in the front and on the sides, it's 2 feet of rock, as was marked. But in the back, it's about 7 feet of rock, tapered down to 2 feet on the sides. That allows water to flow from the uphill side to the downhill side. And then he covers it all with dirt and packs in the dirt. Well, I'm sitting in the egress window that is a great example of how delays happen. I don't know if you remember from one of the other videos, we couldn't even cut this hole in the wall until this frame came in. We were told it was in, and it wasn't. And then we were told that it was in again, and it wasn't. Well, they finally got it in, and the window was broken. So they sent us the frame alone, and they sent us the well. Unfortunately, we just found out when we were doing the backfill that the well that they sent was the wrong size. So yet again, we're held up on the backfill portion because we're waiting for the right size window well. So now you're beginning to see the idea of our thermally stable design in this passive solar system. We have earth out here enveloping the entire house. Then we have 2.5 inches of foam, 8 inches of concrete, and another 2.5 inches of foam. And realize also we have siding on the outside and we have wall covering on the inside. The temperature of that house cannot change very rapidly at all because all of this mass will not change quickly whether it's hot or cold outside. So we got 2 other torrential rainstorms coming in this week, which will probably cause delays, but hopefully the plumber can get out there because he has to lay out the pipes for the bathroom in the basement, and then he has to lay out the hydronic heating system in the floor. Once we get that poured, we can work from the bottom on up to the next story. Well, we're really hoping things can get back on track with all the delays that we've seen. Spring is coming, so we're also working outside to get the gardens ready and do some other prep work for springtime. If you're a subscriber, thanks for joining us, and we love your comments. If you're not, subscribe now and join us in our journey.